do dum, humbity lie, humbity die do dum, humbity lie, humbity die do dum, humbity lie, humbity die dum dee do. Where are we today, boys and girls? Alva. And what part of Alva?
Cochrane Park.
The Cochrane Park. Now, there's the Cochrane Hall. Now, there was somebody very famous that came here, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Who was it?
The Queen.
The Queen!
Yeah.
And I think, what was it, 1963 or something like that, she came here. So, just check out the Cochrane Hall. How does that look? So yeah, we are in Alva. And Alva is a small town in Clackmannanshire, set in the central lowlands of... what country?
Scotland.
Scotland, yeah. And then just behind Alva, you have the beautiful setting of the Ochil Hills. Now, I'm thinking, is that Myreton over there? I'm not sure what this one is, but look how steep that is. And look, can you see up in between the hills there? Can you see a little bit of white up there?
Yeah.
What might that be?
Is that a waterfall?
That's a waterfall! You are right. And there are very famous Alva games here. And they have a big hill race where the people run right up the hills. Can you believe that?
I'd love to go walking up there.
I would love to go up there as well. It'll be quite a tough climb up that way, but it's much easier going up to the side.
Or have we already done an episode there?
Well, no, we've not been up that high before yet. Right, well, we're going to have a wee look at the hall.
Yeah.
So, Alva is one of a number of small towns in the Hillfoots and is situated just south of the Ochil Hills, collectively referred to as the Hillfoot villages or just as the Hillfoots. Yeah. Now, what village is to the west? What's the next place along there? Can you remember? Starts with an M. Menstrie, well done. And then over to the east, what's the town that's over that way? Tillycountry. Well done, William. We'll come forward a bit so we can hear you. Right. So, in 2001, during the census, Alva had a population of 5,181. But in the recent 2016 one, it only had 4,600. And that sounds awful strange to me because there's actually been a lot of new houses built just over there through those trees.
Maybe the houses got crowded.
Maybe, but it seems confusing because they've built a lot more new houses just outside, so maybe that was before that happened because that was where the old high school used to be. Now, Alva has a number of prominent features. Now just look at the size of this park. So this is almost a village or maybe a town now. Is this a big park or is this a little park?
They're big.
It's absolutely massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just look at the size of it. And Alva is quite a long, thin town. So it must be about maybe 2.5, 3 miles long. But you'll be lucky if it's maybe half a mile sort of wide. So there's actually lots of different interesting parts of Alva, which this is just one of. And I'm just trying to think, you maybe can't see it from here, but there's a mill just up and round the corner here. Now, where do you think the name comes from? Is it a Pictish name like some of the other places, or do you think it's maybe a Gaelic name?
I think it's a Gaelic name.
You're right, it's a Gaelic name, that's right, William. Well done. And some of the older names were Alvath, and Alva is said to have been derived from the term Albech, meaning rocky. And that's exactly what it is here, isn't it? So it's built on something called a rocky carse.
Yeah.
And that is why it has that particular name. Now, I'm looking just over here. So the old town of Alva was centred on Alva House, a tower dating from 1542. So that's almost as old as Devon Tower and Alva Tower, isn't it?
Yeah, look at all these crocus popping.
Oh, is there lots of crocus? Let's go and have a wee look at the crocus. Let's go and see them.
Crocuses are crocus.
What colours have we got? Come and show us.
We've got orange, purple, purple and white.
Oh wow, look at them, eh? Aren't they beautiful?
Look at those purple ones over there.
Well, let's go and have a wee look at the purple ones. Oh, look, there's some big ones here, eh? Oh wow. Just look at that.
Sadly, these are not saffron crocuses.
Oh, they're not? What's a saffron crocus? Tell us about that.
Basically, they're the kind of crocuses that people will dry high up to make saffron.
Right.
Basically, the world's most expensive spice.
Aha, I've heard that.
There's so much. Who knew so much money could be gotten from such tiny flowers?
From a tiny wee flower. You're right, aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think Alva was famous for? What do you think they made here?
Clothes.
Go and come up here because we can't hear you when you're behind me all the time. You have to stay in front of me. Can we go in front of me so I can hear you? So, can you see those buildings over there? What do you think though that big building over there might have been, the one that's all derelict now?
I don't know.
Well, it was a textile factory at one point.
Oh, so William was right.
He was right, yeah. So during the Industrial Revolution, Alva developed into a textile manufacturing building. So the Mill Trail Centre, housed in the old Glentana Mill, was built in 1877. Now look at that building.
Charcoal?
It looks like charcoal. Someone's been burning something, haven't they? That's exactly what it is.
It would be nice to had a good piece to my gem collection.
All right. Right, come on down here and we'll go and look at this building.
I'll pick this bit.
Oh, that looks like a nice bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some charcoal.
So when I was young, this building was still going. In fact, when you guys were young, this building was still going strong. And we'll go and have a look. So this used to be, when it shut down as a mill building, it used to have exhibitions. Oh, watch out for the dog poo. It used to have exhibitions of all the old styles of wool and
Stuff like that.
yeah, so it used to show how everyone used to work and all their experiences. Oh, did you see a wee bird? Just look at the brickwork in it. Look at this. It's all overgrown now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, everything's boarded up.
And everything's boarded up. But look at that. I think that's pretty cool. And there's another building over here. What do you think this one might have been?
The clothes maker.
They made clothes in this one, but the one that's in front of us, I always used to think this one used to be an old primary school when I look at it, but I think it might be called the Dalmore Works. And I think that was built in 1877 as well. And these guys would have produced textile products like tweed, fabric, mohair, wooden rugs.
This used to be where the uniform shop was.
That was a school uniform shop, that's right. You are exactly right. So let's just take a wee walk around the front and have a look at this building, because I think it looks exactly like a primary school. But I think it used to be called the Dalmore Centre. So I thought that might be the Wilson building. Oh, look, then you can see all the way down the street there. And just look at that, it does look very much like a church or a school building, doesn't it? It's even got the bell up the top. I'm sure this must have been something like that at one point, eh?
Yeah, something like school. And it's also, and if it was a school once, the school uniform shop, it's right beside it, so if they both exist at the same time, I guess it must have.
It would be very handy, eh?
Yeah.
Well, we have a look at the front of this building. Because this building was absolutely beautiful when I was young. Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's go back into the park because it's awful noisy down here.
Yeah, and it still is in its own way.
It still is in its own way. Hopefully somebody will come along and turn it into something nice, eh? But yeah, I am always amazed when you come and stand here because the closer you get to these Ochil Hills, the taller they look, don't they? What's that, William?
What's it with all mountains?
Yes, that's what it's like with all mountains. You're right. Now let.
And sometimes it seems like the closer you get, the more interesting stuff you find.
You certainly do. I mean, look at that waterfall
Right
up there.
beside it, at the very, we're right beside them right now, at the very foot of them. We are right beside them. We are right at the foot of them.
Well, that's exactly the next bit of what I was going to say. So right at the foot of the Ochil Hills is the Ochil Fault,
Oh,
the movement of which gave rise to the steep southern scarp of the Ochil. So that's exactly what we're looking at right now, isn't it?
yeah.
And it coincides with the old King's Road. So when this bit down here was a boggy marsh, just behind those houses ahead of us was the King's Road, and it ran right along the Ochils, coming all the way from Stirling Castle all the way along to Crooked Devon, didn't it?
Yeah. And by the way, when it was a boggy marsh, it was precisely in the late Carboniferous.
That's right, and that's why we call it the Carboniferous Fault. So the rock beneath in the car, right, so there you go, that's just what you said. The rock beneath the cars in the area is of Carboniferous age. The town is situated on slightly higher ground than the surrounding karst, being on two overlapping alluvial fans. What are alluvial fans?
I'm not sure what alluvial means.
Well, what I think it means is once the Ochil stopped, it's like two sort of flat bits in front of it. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think that's what it means. I might be wrong. So alluvial fans are made up of material deposited by the Carnarvon Glen and Alva Glen burns. So there's a burn just over there, isn't there? At the side of that building's one burn, and it comes from that waterfall that's coming down off the hill up there that we can see. And then away off in the east, oh wait a minute, there we go. So over there, see that, can you see the mill building over there?
Yeah.
So look at that, that's Strood Mill, and that was the big textile factory just there behind all there. It's flats now, and there's another burn, the Silver Glen burn, that comes down there, isn't there? So the town is sort of separated by these two burns that run down either side of it, don't they?
Yeah.
Will we go and have a wee look at the burn over here?
Yeah.
Because that one over there is a bit too far away, but we can go and see the one over here. So the spectacular Alva Glen cuts into the Ochils just north of the town. So that is what we're looking at in the hills over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alva Burn flows down into the Devon. To the east of Alva Glen and parallel to it is the Silver Glen, where the silver was once mined. A more recent attempt was made about...
Bird.
Oh, wait about, show me.
Look there.
Where?
Bird.
I can't see it.
Watch closely. And you can
I'm watching closely, you'll have to point it out to me.
And when that's kind of...
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Did you see him flying along the wall there?
Yeah.
I've got him.
It's
I've
a
got him.
robin.
It's a robin.
Yeah.
A wee round robin.
Yeah.
Oh, he's quite friendly. He's not scared, is he? Well, we see how close we can get, because the robins about here are incredibly friendly.
Yeah.
Hello, little Robin.
The way how it hops along the wall.
I know. He's just jumping along, isn't he?
And since it's winter, it's a suitable time for months.
It certainly is. Now, just look at these houses in the back road here. What do they look like to you?
Really big houses.
Really big houses, aren't they? Do they look old or new?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? I think they look quite old. Right, come along here and we'll go and look at the burn before we go away. And look at that tree there. What kind of tree is that? That is a very unusual shaped one, isn't it?
Yeah, but whatever, it's a very pretty tree.
It's very
I
pretty.
think it's actually 2.
Oh, is it 2?
I think so.
Ah, it looks like 2, doesn't it? Right, come on, let's go and see this Alva Burn.
Yeah, it's... Look at that. Look at all those daffodils.
So we walk through the trees. And what's this tree here? This looks like one of those big funky fir trees. Look at that. Oh, what could this be?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the cones on it. Aren't they spectacular? Have a wee look at this.
I think it might be a white fir.
White fir, do you think?
Yeah, white fir.
Cool. I do like the pine needles on them. They're so long and thin, aren't they?
Oh no, it might be longleaf pine.
Longleaf pine, do you think?
Yeah.
Right, come on.
That does look like that's a longleaf pine.
Oh, does it? So you think that's maybe a longleaf pine?
Yeah.
Right, let's go and find this burn and then we can say cheerio to everyone.
Yeah.
Now look at here, what is there lots of on the ground?
Crocus and dandelions.
Crocus and daffodils. Imagine what this is going to look like when they all pop out. How spectacular will that be?
And suitable because snowdrops and crocuses are all very related, and coincidentally they all come out in spring.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So
Oh.
basically, it seems to go in size order as well. Basically, there's the tiny little snowdrops, the bigger crocus, and they're really big in comparison to daffodils.
Oh, and look, here we go. Here's the Alva Burn. So that one you saw up on the hill, that waterfall, this is what it turns into. How awesome is that?
Okay, well, it looks like stairs.
It looks like stairs, yeah. And I think that's just to help with the flow of the water, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get too full and overflowing.
Yeah. That's some pretty fast moving water.
It is some very fast moving water. Not very deep, but very fast moving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we say goodbye, boys and girls.
Bye.